Good evening. We're now going to cook roasted winter vegetable soup, ideal for these cold winters. Do you recognize that song? Phyllis Nelson, Move Closer. The ingredients you will need are at least one onion. I've used two because I like the hotness, but you can use just one for this recipe. Green onion or red onion, doesn't really matter. Second thing is sweet potatoes, neatly chopped, about half a kilogram or 1 kilogram, or simply one ordinary sized sweet potato about the size of your palm. Third thing you need is about 2 or 3 carrots, neatly chopped like this, about 2-inch dices. Fourth thing you'll need is garlic. I like to use a tube rather than real garlics. Next is the cooking oil. You can either choose vegetable oil or extra virgin olive oil, any of the two you like. The next two you'll need is salt and pepper. You can use any salt you like, ordinary salt or sea salt. At the end, to garnish, you might need some light cream. This is chicken stock, couple of cubes. Add them to boiling water and dissolve them in boiling water, and you got your chicken stock, about 2 cupfuls of it. Beans are optional, may or may not need to use it. I've decided to use some beans, ordinary beans, about 100 grams. And you'll definitely need a blender. This is a blender machine of mine. All of you might be having different machines. This has to be used at some point, which I'll indicate later in the recipe. So let's get cooking roasted winter vegetable soup, and let's beat the winter. The next step is to use an aluminium foil tray about this size. It's about the size of my entire hand, length and breadth wise. Into this, it should be evenly distributed. You can see the sweet potato wedges, you can see the carrots, you can see a little bit of the beans. Beans, by the way, is optional for this recipe. And you can also see some of the onions. All these should be evenly distributed. It shouldn't be as a lump, because this whole thing is going to go into the oven for roasting. I've already added some pepper into this. I'll add a little bit more, and on top of that, a generous helping of salt. You can also use sea salt if you like sea salt. That's how the salt should be used. And on top of that, add the vegetable oil or extra virgin olive oil. It should be used to top off all the vegetables, like this. And now this whole thing goes into the oven for 25 to 35 minutes. You can just take half an hour as a rough average, for about 200 degrees centigrade. If you are interested in flipping it halfway through the cooking, you can do it, but I usually don't have the time to do it. I just let it go, and after 25 minutes then we'll let you know what the next step is. Now I'm going to take the whole thing in my large hands without dropping it. And you might need 2 such units. 1 unit may not be enough. You might need 2 such units in the oven. There we go. Set it right, fan bake, 200 degrees centigrade for 25 minutes. It's all ready. And let it bake for 25 minutes. This is what I meant by 2 units. I did the left one in front of you and I did the right one later when I paused the recording. So we actually got 2 units of the same thing. only that all the vegetables you cut won't fit into one. My apologies at this point, I forgot to mention the quantity of carrots you require. The quantity of carrots which you require are about 2 carrots, that's all you need. At this point I'll make the stock. Here's the chicken stock. These are the stock cubes, fully opened up. And you know, I'm always short of time, so how do I save time? We're always short of time. So here's a kettle full of boiled water, pre-boiled water. So instead of boiling the stock in water, you just add pre-boiled water. About 2 cups full of it. And then using a spoon, you just batter it and dissolve them in. Keep this in readiness for imminent usage. What you need to put it in the blender very soon. Do you feel warm already? It's like even before the food is cooked, you're starting to feel warm in the winter looking at that. Well, we'll beat the winter alright. Once this food is done, we'll beat the winter. Give it a good battering. It'll be a warm winter this year. These are the fully baked vegetables. I've taken it in just 20 minutes in the interests of time, and you can still see how well it's baked. Here's a close-up view of it. I'm using my one-handed technique, like the way I put it in. I'm going to put both into a stove pot, one by one. It's a bit too hot, so I'll stop the recording and I'll transfer them all into a stove pot, and then we'll resume recording again for the next step. Here are all the winter vegetables soon after baking. I've just taken them out of this aluminium foil, taken fresh out of the oven. I've turned on the heater. It's starting to heat, and to this you now need to add the chicken stock which you just prepared. You can also use vegetable stock or even mutton stock or even beef stock, they're all the same. Now that you've added the stock, if you can still see that the vegetables are not fully immersed, you may choose to just add some more of that pre-boiled water from the kettle just to completely immerse the vegetables. The next step is to put a lid and bring it to a boil for about 10 minutes. That's a very beautiful smell. You can smell boiling carrots, sweet potatoes, onions and beans along with the stock. After 10 minutes, which it is now, we can stop the heating process and transfer all this into the blender. The blender, it has got those standard blades at the bottom, so be careful of those blades. Oops. Doesn't want to come out. Here they come out. That's all the blades. Careful with the blades. And the soap goes into the bowl. Now you can put some more salt and pepper at this stage if you need to for taste. You can also spoon it and eat it straight away with a bit of cream or yogurt, whichever you prefer. For the sake of decoration, I'm going to put some sour light cream on top of it. But otherwise it's good to eat in this winter. So tuck in and enjoy your winter vegetable soup made from roasted vegetables. Enjoy! Bon appetit! Here's the winter vegetable soup ready to be eaten. I do note some people get what's called winter blues. I made a big smiley face out of the cream which I put onto topping. So that's the cream as a smiley face onto the soup. That way that'll beat all your winter blues. Now I'm going to taste some of this stuff. Nice and warming. You need your soups during the winter. It gets very cold during the winter. Soups will prevent you from getting a cold. Keep your spirits up. Bon appetit, thank you for your kind attention, and goodbye.